So it's finally official. Vitor Pereira is your new manager at Forest. Welcome to your Forest news. Hi guys, hope you're doing well and welcome to your latest Forest news. Coming up, we're going to talk to you about this man, Vitor Pereira, and I gotta say I'm excited. I'm excited about the appointment. We'll talk you through the official statement. I'll give you some thoughts on it after, of course, you guys have hit that like button, hyped up, and make sure you're subscribed if you are new. Just a side note, this isn't sponsored, but I'm on Octopus Energy. If you're in the UK and you want to save yourself on these bloody bills on gas and electricity, I've been with them for about 5 years now, and you know what? I'm going to recommend them. So if you want to sign up, you can scan this QR code. You'll get 50 quid. I'll get 50 quid. Great deal, great deal. So make sure you go check them out. Okay, let's get into the news. So the worst kept secret this week has been that Vitor Pereira is going to be the Forest manager. We told you what feels like, I think, Friday, that this was done and dusted. Since then, Vitor has flown over to the UK, got all the dots, the T's crossed and the I's dots, that's what I'm trying to say, and it's now been made official by the club. So what I want to do before we get into the ins and outs of it, let's go through the official club statement, which has made it official today. It says that Forest is delighted to confirm that Vitor Pereira has been appointed as head coach on an 18-month deal. We'll speak about that length in just a second. Pereira began his managerial career in his homeland Portugal in 2002. After gaining extensive experience across the country, he took over at Porto in 2011, where a hugely successful 2-year spell saw him lead the club to back-to-back league titles. Having spent time at Al Ahly in Saudi, Pereira then moved to Olympiacos in 2015 and went on to win the double with Olympiacos. Adding to his wealth of experience at the top level around the world, Pereira has also managed Fenerbahce in Turkey and in the Chinese Super League, Shanghai SIPG, guiding the latter to their first ever league title in his debut campaign. Before then winning the Chinese Super League, he also had spells of in Brazilian clubs Corinthians and Flamengo as well. Most recently, he was head coach in the Premier League club Wolves, taken over with the club in the relegation zone. Pereira led them to 6-game winning run, which helped guide them to safety during the 24-25 season. It was the longest winning run of any team in the top league last season, including Forest, by the way. We got that same thing now. They could have mentioned that. And Newcastle, if I'm not mistaken. In a campaign which also saw Wolves score a club record number of goals in the Premier League. Oh my God, are we going to see goals? The 57-year-old now heads to Trent's side on a deal that runs until the summer of 2027. He will be joined by coaching staff Filipe Jorge Monteiro Almeida, assistant coach, Luis Miguel Moreira de Silva, assistant coach, Bruno Felipe Ajero Dumura, I don't know if I'm saying these names right, head of physical performance and opposition analysis, and Pedro Sima Capella Silva Lopez, opposition analysis. And then there's a nice little pretty picture there of him. Okay, so a lot of things to talk about there. Now, the first thing is the 18 months. There was a lot of conflicting rumours to say that this was only going to be until the end of this season. I think Romano had tweeted out, I think maybe even Ornstein was saying it was till the end of the year. But we told you it was 18 months. We'd also spoken to Ben Jacobs, who was telling me it was 18 months as well. And it looks like it is 18 months. Does 18 months mean 18 months? Of course it doesn't. Now, I personally would have been very interested if it was just till the end of the season, because that would have been a bigger indicator to Marinakis' thought process and going for Marco Silva then. That can still happen. What you'll get with Pereira is a guy that won't really be fussed if he was sacked in the summer. Even if he wins the Europa League, keeps Forest up, moves them up the table and what have you, there'll be no ill feeling if he gets sacked, because he does tend to jump clubs every 12 to 18 months anyway. I think what you'll find is there's a Europa League win bonus for him and there's a survival bonus as well. And that will be the criteria. And I think what Forest will do is assess what happens in June, where we are, what we've won, etc., and then make a decision off the back of that. So I think that length is quite interesting to discuss for a start. The other big interesting point I saw in that club statement was the complete inverse to what we saw when they appointed Sean Dyche. It was specifically said in that Sean Dyche one, if you cast your memories back, that Edu and Sirianos were the two that put this appointment down. There's no words of Edu on here or Sirianos or Marinakis. This is the club that has appointed it, which tells you that I think Edu and Sirianos could find themselves in a whole lot of trouble come June. It almost felt like that statement was like, all right, as in speaking as Marinakis, fine, you want to go with Dyche? Cool, but it's on your necks. If this fails, it's on you kind of thing. So, I think, it's a little interesting to see the wording on that. And what's more interesting is those names that I butchered in terms of his coaching staff are all going to be Portuguese speakers. This, for me, is the most important thing of this signing. The Brazilian boys need to be on side, need to feel loved, and need to feel like this coach is interested in playing the style they want to see and the communication levels that will make it easier for them. And I love it. I love that it's all gone Portuguese, man. I love Portugal anyway. They got some great golf courses there. Me and my mates used to go lads' weekends away and everything. I got nothing but nice things to say about Portugal. And of course, we saw what happened when we had our Portuguese manager last season in Nuno. So making and recreating that semi-vibe there, I think will be a strong thing. And also on top of that, his English is very, very good as well. So there's going to be no language issues when it comes to speaking to the English guys or the Portuguese guys. Now, there are spectres in between that in terms of languages, but most of the other ones will be pretty good at English anyway. Okay, so those are all positive things about it. And then when you look at the other positive, and the reason I am positive, when you look at Pereira's record in his first 5 to 10 games on any club he's been to, in the majority of the cases, he's been able to win a minimum of 5 games. I think only at Munich did he win less than 5 games in his opening 10 matches. If he was to go and replicate that at Forest, then, we can just focus on the Europa League and see what happens there. And to add the extra spice onto it as well, Forest will be playing his former club in Fenerbahce in his first game as well. It's just always drama at Forest. There's always a sub-story, a subplot, and everything else. So let's see how this all kicks off. It's kicking off on Thursday against Fenerbahce and then straight to Liverpool. He's got a tough run of games in the Premier League with Liverpool, Brighton, Man City, and I think Fulham after that. Would that be hard? His replacement coming in to see what it's like? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So I'm very excited about this. I'm very positive. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments down below. Make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.